Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, to take a closer look at your upcoming weekend. And for most of us, it's absolutely going to be gorgeous. Some great fall weather to be had, especially in the eastern half of the country. Now, those of you on the western half, well, it's going to be a little bit on the colder side of things and a bit snowier for those of you in the Rockies. But as far as your Friday is concerned, notice these temperatures. Now, of course, it's been kind of cool over the last several days, but now you can kind of see here the air is modifying, starting to warm up a bit, especially there in the Tennessee Valley, but those warmer temperatures will be working its way more towards the east. So you can see that here on Saturday, the eastern half of the country. Now, we're looking at normal high temperatures right here in the Ohio Valley in the 60s. We're going to be certainly well into the 70s. We may even get a couple 80s sneaking around here in the Midwest, certainly in the lower plain states and certainly along the Gulf Coast. You will be definitely in the 80s. Now by Saturday, notice getting a little bit warmer there off to the west. Those of you in Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, stretching down to the Gulf Coast. But you see a pocket of some very cold air there in the Rockies, and that's where you're going to be looking at some snow over the next couple of days. By Sunday, you can kind of see here, it's really warming up quite a bit now. So we're going to see temperatures well above normal in the lower Mississippi Valley. But here comes the next frontal system. You see there the difference in the colors. Warm here in the Ohio Valley, very chilly up in the Great Lakes, and that's going to be coming in for next week. Now, precipitation-wise, we're looking at, again, pretty dry across most of the Midwest. We do have some disturbance down into the Caribbean, but for those of you along the Gulf Coast, we're going to be in good shape because that frontal system that brought those very cold temperatures right here in the Midwest is going to keep everything pretty much at bay, and anything that does develop is going to move more towards the west. There's that snow I was talking about there in the Rockies, and you're seeing quite a bit of it in the higher elevations. Now by Saturday, it dips a little bit further to the south, but those of us here in the eastern half of the country still very, very quiet. No real precipitation. There's that next frontal system that's starting to work its way towards the south, and those of you in the Pacific Northwest is going to get a little bit wet. And here we go on our Sunday. We're looking again, very nice temperatures across the area. A few showers now developing across Florida, but again, nothing really tropical to worry about. Just a lot of sunshine, dry air, and temperatures modifying well into the 70s. So it's going to be a really nice fall weekend. We got a lot of college games, football games to be had. Any type of precipitation there being the Texas Panhandle and portions of Oklahoma as well, as that next system starts working its way a little bit more towards the east. And then looking into next Wednesday, that's when things starting to change a little bit. You see here's that next frontal system starting to work its way down. Some very chilly air up here in Canada will push its way down. And this frontal system, I think, will make its way all the way to the Gulf Coast. So once again, anything tropical that's going to develop is pretty much going to stay south of the continental United States, and anything out in the Atlantic that develops looks like will be curving out into the Atlantic. So nothing really to worry about from the tropic standpoint. But enjoy the upcoming weekend. It's going to be great out there, nice and warm and very dry. I'm George, the Weather Dad.